What's up, guys? It is Dan and Nick back with another episode of F1 2021, but we're not playing co-op career mode today. We are instead playing our first sprint race championship. I will be taking the place of Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin, and Nick will be taking the place of Lando Norris in the McLaren. Now, let's get underway.
Oh, that's loud. The Spanish Grand Prix.
Oh, it's Spain this time, is it?
We've kicked off. One of the Williams doing well.
The inaugural F1 2021 Sprint Race Championship. I don't know if anyone else has done one of these yet, so maybe we'll be the first to do that too. And
it's a collision. Lewis Hamilton takes out Justin Freshpot, synchronised spinning as they all drive away.
From the two human drivers, the onboard shot now from Justin Freshspin. Absolute chaotic driving. How did he not see him?
He clearly got rear-ended and spun.
We're not going to look on board with the Aston Martin because it definitely wasn't his fault. Ignore that.
A great track extend.
No, that was not a track extend. You see, what he was doing is he was making sure that there was artificial grass there. And he's going to report that back to the stewards. He can confirm that there is artificial grass there, as intended.
Justin Freshpot here, the greatest driver in Formula One history.
He's like, oh, that was impeccable timing for that statement, as he nearly wipes out Nikita Mazepin whilst rejoining the track, who in turn wipes out Fernando Alonso and allows Radiant Slothz pass.
Was Justin Freshpot's fault?
No, he was clearly distracted by a strong breeze, as Nikita Mazepin, rather unsurprisingly, is darting all over the place in an attempt to cause a collision. And talking of collisions, Justin Freshpot is attempting to shove Radiant Slothz off, and he does.
Radiant
there is
Slothz
contact there.
Does not give McLaren enough room.
Second contact.
Moving left.
On board with Radiant Slothz now to see how much room he did in fact leave and how far off his line Justin Freshpot was.
As you can see, Radiant Slothz here clearly turning left towards the McLaren, hits him,
and then becomes
lucky
a victim
to keep out
again.
the barrier.
And on board with Justin Freshpot now as he forces Radiant Slothz off of the racetrack, and then watch the steering wheel here, opens up into the wheel of the Sloth, and then hits him again for
clearly swiping left to hit the McLaren.
Disgusting.
As he crosses the line to finish a great race.
P19. And followed shortly by Radiant Slothz, only 30 seconds later. And there we go, Mick Schumacher won that one, and he got fastest lap. And because I'm useless, you're going to have to just pause these if you want to see who's winning the Drivers' Championship, because this is probably the slowest scroll through this standings chart that I do for the whole season.
As on top, you have to say it's deserved. A great team.
The best team. The Spanish Grand Prix.
The Italian Grand Prix. 7 red lights. An incredible start from Lando Norris as he forgets to go.
I was trying to figure out what the hell this race was. And here we go. And it's Justin Freshpot doing a Valtteri Bottas into the back of Radiant Slothz.
By Radiant Slothz.
Absolutely shocking. He's now got Valtteri Bottas attempting to get past him. We know how this might end, having watched the race a few weeks ago, but he does get through unharmed, mostly. I think Bottas is still going to attempt the challenge, though, unless I just added that shot in because it looks cool. On board
here
with the perpetrator. There it goes.
The Aston Martin brakes way too early.
There's
no avoiding that at those sort of speeds.
By the McLaren to slow down. He forgot what pedal was supposed to be braking. As Lance Stroll goes to have a look at the inside now. He's fair with him. The McLaren being the fairest he's been since the start of this championship. He does make contact again. He does not like green, this man.
Some say He's slightly colourblind as they're coming down the main straight.
In the brown McLaren. As Radiant Slothz goes around the outside of Lance Stroll, loses the end, but
the
holds
red
it together.
Aston Martin squirrels out of the first corner. A train now forming behind Radiant Slothz as he track extends.
Lewis Hamilton making the most of that mistake there. That's not even Lewis Hamilton, that's Valtteri Bottas making the most of the mistake there.
As, can Radiant Slothz get the place back?
He looks
he dives up the inside
in what is definitely not a carbon copy of that Mercedes. And now we're on board with Justin Freshpot as Lance Stroll goes to make the pass. He's very unfairly pushed against the barrier, Schumacher and Barrichello style.
No contact though, so no penalty.
The same thing was said by Michael Schumacher, but the fans did not agree.
Luckily we don't have any fans.
I suppose that's good then, as Radiant Slothz goes to look. Oh, some foul play from Justin Freshpot as he does attempt to prevent the overtake. Valtteri Bottas looking up to the inside. Unbelievable!
A brake failure from the McLaren. Can you believe it?
Let's have a look on board with Radiant Slothz now at this disgusting driving from Justin Freshpot. There's the first swipe, and just when you think it's all over in the run down up to the fast left-hander, he turns in, and there he is on his left-hand side. Thankfully, no consequences from that incident.
You can see the McLaren here coming into the corner. He's turning left, but the car just can't handle it.
No attempt to slow down. The marshal is nearly wiped out in the accident.
Brake failure.
And he retires from the race.
As Radiant Slothz comes across the line for his best ever finish in a Formula 1 game of 6th.
More than likely. Lando Norris takes the win, and Lewis Hamilton is now first in the Drivers' Championship.
Radiant Slothz in P11. Will he build on those 8 points throughout the season?
Justin Freshpot off to a slow start, allowing Nikita Mazepin not to feel like a sack of shit. As we look at the constructors, and they disappear as soon as I even start my sentence. Oh yes, here we go. We're on to the famous Spanish Grand Prix that we never seem to be able to finish. With no
As we're on board, you can tell that we have finished this race.
Exactly. There's George Russell, recent P2 win in Belgium by not actually racing. Justin Freshpot goes round and he wipes out Max Verstappen, stops Lando Norris in his tracks. He does get a penalty. 2 penalties. George Russell picks up a penalty, and Radiant Slothz goes on his way. Justin Freshpot has retired from the race, and the decision has been made to call off the event. There he is, pulling over now. And
safely to the side of the road.
That's the end of that.
A great race.
Esteban Ocon winning on default there.
Yeah, his home Grand Prix.
Yes, because the S in Esteban stands for Spain. As we can see, that Radiant Slothz has absolutely fallen through the table. Thankfully, Lance Stroll doing a good job at getting the points in for the team.
On to the next race, the Italian Grand Prix.
Oh God, it's Zandvoort. I hate this circuit. I mean, it's the Zandvoort Grand Prix. How exciting!
Incredible start from Justin Freshpot.
He looks to the inside. A very good overtake there on the Alpine. Much better traction. The worst cars on the grid are heading out this field right now, with just Lance Stroll and Pierre Gasly in amongst them. Justin Freshpot attempting to penetrate this area of obscenely slow cars, which may still be on equal performance. And an incredible dive bomb there from Radiant Slothz against 2 Mercedes in one go.
Fighting for a haul of 0 points to add to his current tally of 8.
Exactly.
Totally fair.
I think I might have started last in this race, which is why I'm down in this position in the first place. And around he goes again. There's the McLaren of Justin Freshpot facing the wrong way on the circuit. He has caused devastation. Sergio Perez is allowed past thanks to the illegal overtake. This is what happened. He comes into
Justin
the corner.
Freshpot.
Oh, that's a radiant Slothz mistake right there, getting on the curb, bumping every single car.
A complete suspension failure for the McLaren, you have to say.
It does
not
put
the
him out of the
driver's
race.
fault.
And what's going to happen here? Oh, a breath of wind has sent the Aston Martin round. Devastation.
Radiant Slothz, a 7-time Grand Prix spinner as he goes around again. Not even on a curb.
Nope.
Incredible.
That is the magic that is F1 2021. And here we go. Lewis Hamilton will be looking to fight for P16 just for his honour, but he is not able to beat the Aston Martin going into that.
By Radiant Slothz.
No,
you have to say, abusive driving from the rookie.
He does
gets on the curb.
He gets a little loose there coming out of the final corner. Lewis Hamilton is looking to get past, but he has run out of laps.
Nikita Mazepin picks up an incredible victory.
Yes, we all knew it was coming, and he has leapfrogged to 9th in the Drivers' Championship. Justin Freshpot now the only driver to score 0 points.
And he turned it around with a lot of the season to go.
A lot of the season to go, 21 races in total, Brazil twice, although the replay for Brazil 2 did escape me. We'll come to that later.
The Italian Grand Prix now.
What even is this race? Oh, it's Silverstone. Brilliant.
Into turn 1. The Sir Lewis Hamilton corner.
Radiant Sloths coming out around here, around the hangar corner, into the hangar section.
Into the Wellington corner. Radiant Sloths backing onto the Wellington straight as you go through Wellington Bend.
The goddamn Wellingtons. There's Mick Schumacher going 3 wide into the Wellington left-hander and into the Wellington right-hander. Radiant Sloths alongside Charles Leclerc as they come down towards Wellington. Still a close fight there. George Russell leading the pack of slow cars, which Radiant Sloths is unable to catch because they are all running the Mercedes spec car for this race. This was
on board with Justin Freshpot. A good start. He keeps it clean.
And then crashes into a Mercedes.
A perfect spin as he carries on.
Thankfully,
on his way.
A delightful Peugeot driver was able to push him back to face the right way, but he will return the favour by overtaking him into the final Wellington.
A great overtake from the experienced professional driver.
Clearly his
as
rally...
he goes down the Wellington straight.
His rally skills put on full display during this race as Radiant Sloths attempts to catch Kimi Räikkönen in the equally as fast Alfa Romeo right now. And around he goes.
And he's put it in the wall. Disappointing driving as we cut away to saving the embarrassment. He gets on the curb.
Sleeping policeman have managed to get the better of him just now. The puppy
Justin
behind me is fast asleep.
Coming into the Wellington section of corners.
As we cross the Wellington line on the Lewis Wellington straight. And Radiant Sloths follows as well.
In the Aston Wellington.
And that
Max Verstappen picks up a classic victory around Wellington.
Mick Schumacher retakes the lead in the Drivers' Championship in an unbelievable turn of events. As we look now, Aston Martin dropped to 8th and McLaren to 9th. Well, that's all for this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell for more.